Welcome back to a new season of the Babes Talking Business podcast. We are so pumped to be back. Before you listen to this episode, we really want to address something, and we thought that we should really add some context to the introduction of this episode before we dive right in. So this conversation might surprise you a little bit. It might even confuse you a little bit. And if you're sitting midway through this episode thinking, wait, what is going on here? Are these girls giving up? Is this the end? Like, what is going on? Let us be crystal clear that we are absolutely not going anywhere. I think this episode is probably the most vulnerable conversation that we've ever had on this podcast in the last 8+ years that we have been running it. And we are talking today about the identity shift that happens to a woman when the version of you that built the success that you have no longer fits the woman that you've become or are becoming. Today, we're diving into topics around the shift from the boss babe era to doing business as a woman in her feminine power. We're going to be talking about why the hustle that once served us now feels really heavy and what it means to build differently in this next iteration and season of womanhood, motherhood, and business for us. We're also going to be talking about how we're pioneering a new way forward in business that is called the Rise era. And we're so excited to talk more into that. So if this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the Babes Talking Business podcast, the most honest, unfiltered corner of the internet where two besties talk about what it really looks like to build businesses, navigate motherhood, and create lives aligned with our highest values without the burnout. In this episode, you will totally resonate with this if you are a woman who craves collaboration over control, expansion over exhaustion, feminine leadership over masculine hustle, spaciousness over the grind, and being home-centric and nervous system-centric with business slotting in around that. And if you're like us, you built your business maybe in your early 20s in a world that only celebrated masculine doing, if you've learned how to hustle, achieve, perform, but no one taught you how to receive and soften, then this conversation is going to land so deeply for you. And here's what we really want you to know. We are still just as passionate about empowering women, and we are still so committed to mentoring and helping women create financial independence. Like, that is always going to be our movement that we are pioneering, and we are very much still in business, but something has changed. And we're just doing it differently. We're doing it softer. We're doing it with less pressure, less chasing, less hustle. It's really about knowing that you can do it, but realizing that you no longer want to do it that way. So between the two of us, we have built multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses. We've created passive income through property investments, navigated motherhood while running empires, and we've done it all whilst in what we call our separation season. Those years of grinding and building and proving we were capable of doing it all. And we are so grateful for that version of us. She set us up for the freedom that we have today. But here's the thing. No matter what season you're in right now, whether it's finding yourself as an independent woman, looking for love, you're in a partnership or marriage, motherhood, maturity, whatever it may be, maybe you'll feel the same way that we do after you listen to this episode, that a certain energy that once served you no longer fits, and maybe you've started to feel the tension between who you were and who you're now becoming. And potentially the career or the way that you functioned in that career that once lit you up now feels a little heavy, particularly if you continue to do it the way that you've always been doing it. The success that you chased doesn't feel congruent with the woman you're evolving into. And that is essentially what this episode is all about for us. So this next era for us, what we're calling the Rise era, it's not about proving that we can do it. It's about remembering that we don't have to. And we really want to invite you to join us in this new way of doing business if it really resonates with you, because we are pioneering a new way over here where you get to do business as a woman. You get to soften. You get to create wealth with other women in your corner who also get it. And you get to build something that really loves you back. And this is the space that we're excited to honor women in moving forward. So if after you listen to this episode, you feel that pull, you are wanting to lean in and learn more about how we're doing business differently now and how that looks, we really want to invite you to Instagram message either of us, whoever you resonate more with, and message us with the words Rise Era. And we'll invite you to our next behind the scenes info session where we'll show you exactly how this looks for us now and how you can join us in this revolution. Now, let's get into this conversation. Grab your cacao or your wine or whatever you need, because we are about to have the most honest bestie chat about what happens when everything you thought you wanted changes. Let's go.
We are back.
It feels like it's been a long time.
We paid for a beautiful new studio and it is beautiful.
It's gorgeous. We love it.
Very excited for a new season on Babes Talking Business, and as always, a new iteration of us.
I'm so pumped. So much has happened since we last spoke. So just a little quick recap. The last episode on BTB, you were very heavily pregnant and about to have a baby.
A baby.
And it's been, what, 6 months? How old is Summer?
Summer's 6 months, yeah. Last time we were on it, we were recording, and I didn't even know if it was going to be a boy or a girl.
That's right. It was a surprise.
It was a full surprise. I now have a 6-month-old baby girl called Summer.
I was wrong. I said boy.
I so convinced it was a boy too. That wigged me out. I'm like never going to know if I can trust my intuition ever again because I was so convinced it was a boy.
Do you know what though? Completely different pregnancy to Stevie, but they're two completely different babies.
They are.
So it's no wonder your intuition was off, because all of us were like, it's a boy, it's a boy. It's got to be a boy. This is so different.
Wild.
But one thing, actually I was thinking in the car on the way here, one thing you were really right about was that she was a chill baby. Remember you kept saying like, this baby's energy is so different to Stevie. Like, I feel like it's going to be a full chiller, and my goodness, she is such a chill baby. She's made me want to have a baby. I'm like, if I have one of those, like, I'm all in. I can have 10 of these.
I think that's what wigged me out because I was so convinced it was a boy because the pregnancy with Stevie, like, energetically felt so different. I remember feeling pregnant with Stevie and the energy felt really flittery straight away, like felt really feminine, like playful, energetic.
And that's Stevie to a T.
Yeah, and that's her personality to a T. And soon as Summer just felt really grounded, like just really just like solid, stable.
She's such
chill.
a little cutie.
And that's why you were like, she's going to be, because they had the same due dates, so 1 or 2 days apart, but you're like, she's definitely going to be more of a Taurus energy than an Aries energy.
I was right about that.
You were right. So it has been 6 months and we're mindful not to catch up too much in the car because we just wanted this to be like a besties chat.
Yeah.
We wanted to like lay it all out here on the potty so you guys can come along for the journey. So I just was like, let's hit pause on this. Let's have this conversation on the podcast.
Yeah.
So it's been 6 months. 6 months. I've grown, or I didn't grow a baby. I grew the baby 9 months prior to that. I've birthed a baby.
Yeah.
I've learned how to look after 2 babies.
I want to talk about that.
What about you? What's happened in the last 6 months for you?
So much has shifted. I mean, there was a conversation there for a little bit where we were like, do we want to do the podcast again? Like we actually had that convo because so much has shifted internally for both of us. I won't speak on your behalf, but for me, like, there's been some really big conversations had between Matt and I about like dynamic changes, work-life balance, mum life. Like there's so much that has shifted. And I know we got to go to Bali together just a couple of months ago now. And I know we were having a lot of chats around the pool just around like, I don't want to like, it feels weird, really weird saying this, but like I'm just done working. It's weird. It's like this really, and I really want to tease it out. I'm not just going to leave it there and be like, I don't want to work anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like this new season, this new shift happening for me personally where, I have no desire to grind. Not that I was grinding before, but like my priorities and my values have changed. That's what's happened.
Yeah.
My priorities have shifted. And what that looks like now is going to be very different moving forward. And I think even this podcast is going to be very different moving forward.
Yeah.
It's called Babes Talking Business, but yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I definitely think it's like, new era, new iteration of us as business women, as mothers, and we wanted to talk about what that would look like. So
Yeah.
where do we start? Motherhood first, maybe?
Let's talk about motherhood. I think you should take the stage. What is it like with two? Because I'm not going to lie, like I have been highly anxious of having a second because I'm like, can I juggle two? Like, I know that sounds ridiculous, especially there's people out there who have like 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. What's it like?
Honestly, I know I've said this to you, but I feel like the jump from 0 to 1 is so much harder than jump from 1 to 2. Like what you go through the first time around when you become a mum, like learning how to find like just your new rhythm. Like I remember like those first couple of weeks and postpartum, your first, and I literally remember thinking, how do mums actually function in the world? Like I remember being so stressed out, like when do you cook dinner and when do you have a shower and like when do you just do the normal things? You know, do you remember that? Like when you first have a baby?
Yeah.
But you kind of
Get your flow.
you get your flow. You know how to do life and motherhood. So by the time the second one comes around, like, and I don't know if it's just because Summer's a chill baby, she just kind of like slots right in. Like, and I think because you learn so much, or personally my experience with the first time around, like you're trying to get everything right, or you just, I guess you're learning. So you're like trying to get the sleep windows right, and you don't know every cry, so you're worried about what this is. Am I doing this right? And you like, am I breastfeeding right? And all the things. And I think just for the second time around, I was just a little bit more relaxed knowing this too shall pass. And I know you know that cognitively when you have your first one, but because you've actually lived through it by the time you have your second one, I'm like, yes, I'm a little bit sleep deprived, but like I know they're only going to be this little for like this short amount of time. And like I remember being with Stevie, like my day was always organized around the sleep windows with like Summer, like you saw in Bali, like we just take her anywhere. Like we would be at the beach, she'd be asleep in the pram, she's asleep in the pram. Like she kind of slots into our life rather than the other way around.
Yeah, watching you guys like parent, Matt and I were like, okay, it doesn't look that hard. Like, look, the baby just sleeps in the pram. Like, I never did that with Rue because I was so, like, anxious about the nap. And, like, yeah, I mean, we both were very like, oh, it's 12 o'clock, got to go home and nap now. Like, got to do the nap thing. But you with Summer, it's just like, oh, it gets to be easy.
Yeah, it does. I think that was also been, I think part of my mantra is like, it gets to be easy. And I think knowing, because my pregnancies are so rough, like I would have a baby again tomorrow, like as in regards to I want another baby, but
you don't want to
I can't grow them. So I have accepted, and I'm not just saying this, I'm fully.
Are you done?
I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done. So I think that also gives me the peace of mind knowing that like this, just to relish in it, because it's I'm not going to get to do this again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have probably only in the last couple of weeks I've come back to like the sleep window thing, because I'm like, I want sleep, and Summer was like waking up like 8 times a night for like.
She's chill, but not at night.
Yeah, she turns into a gremlin at night. We're like, don't let the day Summer fool you, because as soon as the sun goes down, she turns into a gremlin, and you just like, where did this baby come from? So it's probably been only in the last few weeks I've been a little bit more particular about making sure we're having like the lunchtime nap at home, and it's made a big difference because,
she's
for
sleeping
last
better.
week I've only been up like once or twice a night, which is a big improvement from 8 times a night. So
yeah,
motherhood, that's, I guess, yeah, I'm loving it. She's real chill.
how's
throughout
it
the day.
looking like with business and stuff around the two?
Yeah, and I know this is a conversation that's probably going to leak into the, like where we're going with you as well, because I feel like a lot has shifted, and we've had a lot of these conversations offline, not on the podcast. I think we kind of slightly touched on it more on our girlfriend Anna's podcast, talking about like just a change of, I don't know if it's a change of ambition, just shift of values. And I knew that even in my pregnancy, I really took the foot off business even in my pregnancy. And that was probably a choice, but also forced, because I was so sick I couldn't work.
Yeah.
So I kind of just came to the acceptance that like this isn't my era to like.
It's not your separation season.
No, it's not. And separation season in different ways, investing. I think we've done the groundwork where I feel like the way we live is separation season. We do what most don't on the daily. Like our conversations, our separation season is in the conversations, our network, the micro decisions, and the way you hold yourself in other areas of your life that makes a big difference in lifestyle, your experience, your freedom, your choices.
But you're not like sacrificing time to work.
No, that's the thing, that shift happened in my pregnancy. So any work that I do now, it's because I genuinely want to, and it's an extension of my mission, and it feels good. None of my decisions around work or any opportunities in regards to my career come before motherhood or anything. Like it's just at the moment, it's just joy, and I'm not chasing a paycheck. I don't care if my income goes down. Like it's, so yeah, I think my business has shifted a lot in the last 2 years, to be honest, because it's not my main priority right now.
Yeah.
But I think I have found a new way in the last few months to do business in a way that feels good, where I used to be really structured and regimented, where now I'm just like, you know what, like if I have a couple of hours and I feel like doing something, I'll do something. I have a couple of days a week where I got my calendar open where I can do calls with some of my leaders that I'm working with in a way that feels good. And we've been launching some exciting stuff in the network marketing space that feels good for my nervous system. So I'm leaning into stuff that feels good, but there's no, I guess, structure or really big business goals right now, rather than just like finding a new way of doing business and honoring that may evolve as well. Like, I've always said, like, I'm really passionate about like one-on-one coaching and high performance coaching. And I feel like in the new year, there'll be an offering that I'll finally put out into the world in that space. Like, there's still that desire. It's just like you said, at the moment, the values have shifted, and there's just, I can't force it because there's nowhere else I want to be rather than right now than at home with the babes.
Well, I remember in Bali, you were like, I feel almost lazy. And I'm like, no, it's just your season to not do anything. Like, I think about how, like, for me personally, like, I've had a business for over 10 years now. I started in 2013. So it's 12 years. I've been like, initially it was a side gig, like while I was nursing, and then eventually it turned into, 10 years ago, it turned into my full-time thing. So I've been a full-time business owner for over a decade. And it's like the first time in 10 years, or the first time ever, that it's not my number one priority. It's not the thing that I'm always thinking about, or the thing that I go to bed sleeping about, or the thing that I wake up thinking about. I don't even have like monetary goals. Like, I've always been so driven by, like, yes, I've been driven by money to create like a certain goal. Like, I'm very like focused on like, okay, cool. Like, I've created this much, like now it's the next thing and the next thing. And I feel like that's why my business is always like grown, because I have had a monetary value on a goal. But for the first time ever, I'm like, I don't care. I actually don't care. And it's not something I'm tracking. It's not something I'm working towards. And it's been like a really nice shift, and almost this may feel really out of touch. And I know that I'm incredibly privileged, but I don't need to work. Like, financially, Matt has us. And it's been a really long journey of us getting to the point where I'm okay with that, because we have had so much like resistance, because even after Rui was born, like I wanted to work, and I didn't want to work all the time. I wanted to have like 3 days and then have the rest of the week with Ru, but I still wanted those 3 days to like be creative and build something and go towards a monetary goal for the next month. And that was always like front of mind for me. And I was really struggling to balance that with motherhood. Like, I really couldn't find a really happy medium. And I said this to someone once, like a few weeks ago, when I was trying to explain this to them. It was Linda. I was like, you know, I think people have always looked at me and they've seen me win. But like, if I'm like winning in my business life, like there's something or an area in my life where I haven't won. I'm not winning at the time. And I feel like every time I've like gone for a big goal, or I've launched something really big, like my time with my family has been sacrificed. And for the first time ever, I'm like, I'm done doing that. And so it's been a really nice convo with Matt to just, he was the first person I said it to. I was like, I think I don't want to work anymore. And he was like, okay. And he's wanted this for so long, as you know, like Matt has wanted me to stop working ever since Rue was born. But I always had this like, I need to create, I need to build, I need, like, it's for me and my purpose. And that was true. I think there was a lot of ego attached to that. But I was at a dinner with like a few girlfriends, maybe like 2 months ago. And I said it out loud for the first time at the dinner table. They're all mums. And they were like, how's business? And these girls are not, they're not in like my business friend space. They're just like friends I've had for years and years and years. And I was like, business is good, but I'm slowing down. And everyone's jaw was on the floor. They were like, what? Like, this is not the Chani we know. What the hell? What's going on? And I don't know how to explain it. I'm just like in a place where I'm like, I just want a mum. I want to do the laundry. I never do the laundry. I pay someone to do my laundry. I folded the clothes today. I folded the clothes. I'm like, I've had a cleaner, I've had someone do my laundry, I've had someone doing all that stuff because I've always been like, oh, every free time I have to work. Whereas now I'm like, Rue's like independently playing, I'm having fun, I'm cleaning the house, I'm doing laundry, and I'm like, I feel so good doing this.
And I was like excited to have this conversation, the podcast, and like it kind of might sound counterintuitive because the women plugging in being like, this is a Babes Talking Business podcast, and here we are saying like we're not doing business. And I think that's a conversation we wanted to have, is that that's the whole point of what Babes in Business is about, is like you get to decide what
How
that
it
season
looks.
and how that looks like. And I think we've both kind of come to terms in the last, I think this is a conversation we've had a lot over many bathhouses, dinners, car rides.
Cocktails.
Yeah, cocktails. Like, it's just, there's just a season where we're content, and that gets to be okay, and we get to change our mind. We get to change our mind. We get to decide differently. We get to be like, you know what we thought we wanted? We're here now and we don't want it anymore.
But do you know what? Like, I've worked my ass off for 12 years to have the choice to have this now. Like, you know, I actually recently had someone project some shit on me, and they were like, you know, you've always worked, you've always put that first. And at first it really offended me. And then Matt was like, yeah, but what's the truth in that? And I was like, actually, you know what? There is 100% truth in that. Like, I'm not condemning that version of me. I am so grateful for her and all the hours of work she put in, and the sweat, equity, the tears, the investment, the time investment, energy, money investment I like threw into my business over that time, over that era and season. Because had I not prioritized my business first and been in a separation season for 10 plus years, I would not be able to be in a position now where I can say, I literally don't need to work. And I don't want that to sound out of touch.
But it's not, because it's not coming from a place of my money got handed to me, or I married a rich husband, or my parents, I inherited it. Like, everything that we share in this podcast is actually from embodiment and from experience. And like, you've worked so freaking hard, I know we both have, to have this spaciousness.
Yeah.
Like, we've created this, and our husbands have their own success and their things that they're doing, but we also built that with them to allow us to have this spaciousness. And that's not to discount the women who are listening to this who maybe want the same things and can't. We know that we are very
privileged.
Absolutely.
But,
But then I also wouldn't say that, because I'm like, we did the work.
Yeah.
We did the 50, 60 hours on top of when we were working a job. And with our first babies, we did do all that, and we invested in our businesses, and we showed up. We never gave up on a hard day. And I hope that just inspires women who are maybe before babies building to know that it's worth it. Or even if you have babies right now and you're building, it might just be a season, but it might set you up for your second baby to do differently.
Yeah.
But then also, if you're waiting for permission, maybe this could be the conversation that you need to hear, that also motherhood is work. And if you don't need to have a founder next to your name, or be a hustler, or have a side hustle, it doesn't speak to you either. Like, if there might be a season of life, if this speaks true to you, where you just want to be at mum at home, and other things might not take priority, like if income is a thing that goes down, but that is where you're needed and you're honored and you want to be. I think that sometimes some women are just needing other women to give themselves permission that, like, that's work, and that desire needs to be honored, because I know that's personally what I've been navigating in my head for the last like 2 years after birth of Stevie, being like, I built in this boss babe era, and like you said, I'm not saying it was wrong, because I loved it and it set us up for what we had now. But it's funny, because all these things I thought I'd want when I'm a mum, when I became a mum, I'm like, I actually have no desire. I just want to be home with my babes.
Yeah.
And I actually don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
Right now.
Literally.
Right now. I know it will come back one day.
Literally. You know what? And yeah, there will be a season where we come on this podcast and we're like, we changed our mind again. We're back, like all in. You know, maybe the babes will be like in school. I don't know when that will be. I know the hunger will come back, and there'll be a different season for different projects and things like that. But right now, it actually feels so nice to this time that I do have for myself, where Rue's in care or whatever. I get to just like work on things that are creative projects, and that's what I'm calling them. They're not to like build financially, or they're not to even like, I don't know, like it's to add value, and it's also to have a creative pursuit, but that's it.
Yeah.
And it's been like, I can't explain the energy shift. Even Matt like has said to me 100 times over the last couple of weeks, particularly like since we've been back from overseas, he's like, you're just different. Like, you are so much more calmer. The home is clean. And I'm like, yeah, it's me. I cleaned. But he's like, I really love this version of you. And I can actually like see him like really excited to come down, because we work from home upstairs. I can see him really excited to come downstairs and turn into family Maddie. And it's not like, it's just different. It feels so good. I feel like the dynamics changed, the energy has changed. Even my presence with Rue has changed. Like, I mean, I've always been a present mum, but even now more than ever, it's like, I don't know, things have shifted. It's really nice.
It's nice. And I guess at the same time, I've been consuming a lot of content that kind of, I guess I was looking for some explanation of how I was feeling or some validation or a permission slip. And it's been interesting. So a lot of the stuff I've been reading and listening to is just, it's coming back to those traditional roles, which I think the Western world or the feminist movement, I've pushed this a little bit too far one way, where I feel like women felt like they had to have and do it all and be it all.
Well, they wanted to like prove and showcase that we are equal to men and that we can do just as much, if not more. Like, that was the kind of the narrative without saying it. Do you agree?
Yeah. And I know we're having this conversation off air before, because we feel like a lot of that kind of came post-industrial revolution, where women were encouraged to get back into the workforce to help pay more taxes for things. So like, I think there was always been a hidden agenda, but women have for the last, I don't know, what is that, 40 years been thinking they can do everything that men can do. But I think we're kind of seeing the fallout in the last 5 to 10 years, where women are like burning out and realizing that's not actually at their core, that's not actually what they want, especially when they become mums, or they feel like this confusion in their identity, which I think is where we were, where we're like, oh, this doesn't feel good anymore. Like,
well, we are also biologically wired so differently. Like, we are. And I think, this is relevant for women who are not mothers as well. Like, I have been having a lot of conversations with women who haven't started families yet, and they're feeling burnt out. It's not just mums. It's women in general are feeling burnt out. And I don't want to generalize, but I feel like what's happened is, yes, like there was a boss babe era and we were very excited about it and we went all in and we were like, fuck, this is so good. Like, look how much money we're earning. Like, I out earning my husband, blah, blah, blah. And that was like, the narrative on social media. And it was like really like women started to be like, I want that on my vision board. Like, that's very exciting for me. And then I feel like we've done it and now we're at the end of it and we're like, no, let's go back to like feminine energetics and how to do business as a woman, not a man. And now that narrative has come in and that's very like prominent on social media. But like when you get down to the core of all of it, like we are just biologically wired so differently. Our brains are different, like from men and how they work, how they function, how they think, 28-day cycle versus 24-hour cycle. We are just so different. And that is why men function differently in a workplace setting. It's why like emotional intelligence looks differently, women and men. Yeah. So it's been really interesting. And I just want to rewind on something you said, because I was having this convo with Matt and he was saying how like when women who were traditionally homemakers, kept the home, looked after the kids and did all the things, when there was that moment where like women started to work, which was it was very strange at the time, but it was a big thing. It was actually like a government agenda to have more people in the household working so that then they would be paying more taxes. And it was to boost the economy. And so the feminist movement, maybe call this speculation, but the feminist movement is actually something that was intentionally done by the government to have women be like, yeah, like, power to the woman, I'm going to be in the workforce. And really it was like, how do we just boost the economy? Let's get the women in the workforce. I just find that so interesting.
It's interesting. And I think for a lot of women, there's a lot of women that they love that. And I think we've been babies of that. Like it's been so good having all these opportunities. But I think I can only talk from experience. I don't want to talk out of school and on behalf of any other women. But I think what doesn't become true until you're a mum yourself is the dynamic in the home, where I can actually see the need for those traditional gender roles where, yeah, when I am the homemaker and I am soft and I am nurturing and I am in my feminine, like that plays so much better to a happy home And it also allows like Dan to thrive in his business pursuits, and he's making big moves in his area, which I know he wouldn't be able to do if he didn't come home to a nice, calm home, a clean home where he knows the kids are going to be looked after. And if when I was working on my business, it felt like not you have to sacrifice one, but one of us was going to drop the ball, or you outsource it, which is fine. And there's a lot of families who do that. And if that feels good for you, this isn't us about preaching one way or the other. I'm just talking from experience. But I just know that it's so funny when I finally surrender to what is the traditional gender roles, how much easier and more natural it feels on my nervous system, but for us as a family unit, like you said, I know Matt's noticed a difference for you guys as well.
Yeah, he loves it.
And just thinking like sometimes, I know I've been talking to some of my girlfriends around this, like this guilt around slowing down, or like because I'm not bringing them in income anymore. It's not as much as it used to be. Like you have this guilt around it without actually now acknowledging, no, you work as a family unit, and your partner now can go and pursue certain careers or business pursuits that I don't think you as a wife give yourself credit for. He wouldn't be able to do if you weren't doing what you do at home to hold the fort down. So just, I guess a shout out for the women at home who may be feeling a little bit unappreciated, or maybe don't get told the work that they're doing, how that plays a role in you guys as a family unit. Or for the ambitious woman who may be listening in being like, do I have to keep hustling? Or like, this once felt good, it no longer feels good. Just if you're in that identity shift and like feeling that out for yourself, just know that's kind of where both of us have landed as well. And it felt foreign at first.
Oh, and I remember having this conversation with you on your birthday last year, which it's your birthday next week.
Next week. So it's taken a year. Like we've had a year. This has been a year conversation behind the scenes of where we've been at.
Yeah, because just context, we were having a sauna and we were having this conversation around like, just like, what if you allowed Dan to be like the income earner and just let go? And I remember you being like, I'm scared of having that conversation with him. And I was like, no, men like love to be the provider.
Yeah.
They love to be the person who's like the protector, and like they've got this. And he would so love to step into the energy of like, babe, I have got this. So tell us, like, did you have the conversation? Like, how did it go? We've not had this conversation, so I want to know more about it.
Yeah, we had the conversation. I think, I don't know, maybe it's a conversation we can have with our men on their podcast one day, because I think it'd be nice to hear some male input into this. But as always, he's supportive. But the one thing he just said is like, it just takes a bit for him to get used to too, because we had all these dreams and visions of what we had. Like we've always said we wanted certain things. And it's sometimes if you relay that to your husband and it's always been one way and you expect them just to understand.
Yeah.
Because for him, it's been something I've been mulling on for years, but it's like it comes out of nowhere for him, and he's like, "What? Like I thought this is how we were going. This is how we're building. Is that not what you want anymore?" I'm like,
can't you read minds?
Yeah, I'm like, I do, but like I can't force what's the internally shifting for me. Like, is that okay? It's like, yeah, of course. It's like, it just means that some things are going to shift. Like the things that we said we want, that's not going to be viable.
Yeah.
How things are right now.
Yeah.
And I think without the whole supply and demand thing, I think me having that conversation then put the demand that he's got creative. Like he's gone and done some extra pursuits. He's got some exciting stuff happening, which I'll share on the potty when I can. But that's been really, and I think it's that whole, like, let things evolve, let things change. But if you are in a partnership, also you have to communicate that. I think sometimes we think our partners just can read our minds.
Can see that we're melting and changing our minds.
And we ruminated over this for so long. Like, this has been like a year or 2 year conversation.
Fully, holy moly, it's your birthday next week.
Yeah, so lots shifting behind the scenes, lots happening for both of us.
But I also really want to talk to the woman who is like in her separation season and so excited to create and build. And she is doing the 10, 12 plus hour days. And like,
that was the best time. Like, we love it.
That was the funnest time of my freaking life. And I just want to say, I would do anything to like just turn the clock back just for a day, and just like that energy, that excitement, that motivation, the inspiration, the creativity, the
fire.
The passion. Like the passion of just like, I'm gonna
like, it wasn't
fucking
like a
kill
masculine like grind where you burn yourselves out. You'll know when you're in it. You'll know if we're talking to you. Like, it was just it's an internal motivation that like you lit up. When you can tell women when they're magnetic, they're lit up. And if you're in that season, like
go all in.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, like, and I can speak into this because I was someone who was never maternal, right? I was always like, I want a family and I want kids, but I actually never saw myself as Chani sitting on this couch being like, I just want a mum. I just want to sit on the floor and play trucks and colour in and, you know, like that. I just didn't see that. I really saw us having a lot of care for our kids and me like working 4, 5 days a week even. Like, I don't know. I just like that was always the vision. And like obviously that's completely shifted now. But the woman who was like the hustler and getting shit done back then, I never knew that I would feel like this as a mother. Like I never would, if you would have sat me down like even 5 years ago and been like, one day you're going to record a podcast and it's going to be about how you're slowing down and you like genuinely love it and you don't know if you want to make money, I would have literally laughed in your face and been like, no, that's not me. Like, I don't think so. So back then I was like working on my business and my aspirations and my dreams, thinking like I would always have that fire and energy, and it's changed. But what I want to say to the woman who's there is just like keep tapping into that for the day that you do have kids, because I cannot tell you how like nice it feels on my nervous system to be like, I have set myself up financially because of the season that I was in.
Yeah.
You know, and like when I had that particular person project their stuff on me about like how they were disappointed in how, you know, I put my business first for so long, like I actually was like, I am owning that part of me. Like I own her and I love her and I wouldn't change it. Like, I'm sorry that my experience has been shit for you, but look what I've created for my family. Like,
Yeah.
I would not change it. So for the woman who's there right now, like, just give it everything you've got and go all in and don't stop until you're ready to stop, because it will set you up for the rest of your life, literally.
Yeah.
Like, how lucky. I'm not going to say lucky because we're not lucky.
Not
like,
lucky. Intentional.
Yeah.
I think intentional. Yeah, it's wild. And I remember I actually did a post about this when I went to our company conference. I think Summer was like 6, 7 weeks old. And I did this post about how foreign the feeling felt for me, because for the first time ever, that fire that you're talking about when you're turned on and you're excited, like when we were doing 12, 14-hour days, like we wanted to.
Yeah. I was like, stop talking to me. I want to keep working.
Like we love what we do. So I feel like the biggest shift for me is actually like just that fire's gone. And I know I've said this a few times to a few different people, like, when does that fire come back? Like,
It'll come back.
It'll come back. But that's been the foreign part for me, is like, it's not like it's a decision that I've just made. Like physiologically, there's no fire there. But I know we both have decided for us, and we get to choose how this looks. We can continue to choose like what that season looks like for us, and we can continue to choose to change our mind.
Yeah.
But right now, just leaning into creative pursuits, things that feel good. So I know for me personally, like we've dropped something exciting in our network marketing profession, and specifically in our team, where some of us ladies got together and we just like, after 10 years in the space, we just kind of did a mind dump or a brain dump on like all the ick, all the things that we didn't like, things that weren't working. And I think that's a big part of it, is just like women don't want to be told how to, it's not like a cookie cutter anymore. There's women want to do business in their own way. Women want to do business in their own time, in their own rhythm.
Yeah.
So I think I'm personally excited for that going forward and doing that in a way that feels good for me. I know that there's this ambition that I've always had around, like, I always talk about my dream job. If you guys have watched the TV show Billions, her name's Wendy Rhodes. She's like this
badass.
She's a badass. Like, that's me. I see that. I can see it. Like, I know that's what I'm here to do. And I always said yes to network marketing and set myself up in this space for this season of life. So I'm like, that's why I'm also not trying to rush it, because I know this is what it's all been for, is exactly where I am right now. But there's this ambition and there's this vision that's tugging at me. And I've told Chani in Bali, like, I feel like it's starting to land. Like, I started to finally put some stuff out on paper and like put some pitch decks together and share it with a couple of friends who are in leadership positions in some companies, being like, I feel like my heart's leading me finally. Like, my ambition is in that space and I think it's coming, but trusting it's just not yet.
Yeah.
It's just not yet.
I like it though. You put the groundwork in. I read your pitch deck.
Oh, thank you.
I really loved it.
Thank you. It feels, you
I
know,
was
when
like,
you feel
damn,
something, like
this is
something just
good.
lands. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, Wendy Rhodes, I'm coming.
Call you Wendy from now on.
And what are you excited for?
Do you know what I'm excited for?
Baby number 2.
Yes, but also like, obviously like Matt and I have been working on our developments over in Bali for feels like been forever. But they are about to wrap up finally. And I am just so excited to enjoy that passive income coming in. Like, and for context, like for those of you who don't know, we have built 13 villas, and we have held on to 3, but our 3 were the last ones built. We did that intentionally so that our purchasers would have, their ROI coming in much sooner than us. So, Nisi has been up and running for over a year now, but we've only just this quarter got our first lick of passive income from one of our villas that's finished. We ended up selling villa number 2 because, we were just like, this has gone up so much. Let's like reinvest that into somewhere else. And then villa 3 is about to be ready at Christmas time. And so we won't get our payment from like our rental payment until the end of quarter 1. So we get paid quarterly, pay ourselves quarterly. So that's happening. That's coming. And then
they look freaking beautiful. I got to see them in Bali and I was like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you guys. They're stunning.
You're our first friends that finally stayed with us. It was so good to have you there. I was like, oh, and here's the spa, and here's the sauna, and here's the this. So
I can see all the baby holidays there, all the family holidays with the babes.
Yeah, so I'm finally like, and I think as well, like a part of my decision to slow down has really come from like feeling safe that there's this like income coming in now as well that's like completely obliterated and surpassed my income. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like I actually do get to enjoy, relaxing because financially we're good.
Yeah.
And then we've got the hotel next door that should be finished by like, I'm going to say April, May, June next year, which again, that's like we've held on to 11 of those.
Yeah.
So again, like there's like more passive income coming in at the end of next year from that. So I am excited to and Matt is finally excited for us to like sit back and be like, oh, the work is like paid off. All the sacrifice and all the hard work.
It's been epic to watch. It's been so cool.
Yeah, it's been
Proud
really
of you guys.
cool. Thank you. Yeah, it's good. And I think like perfect timing, because like we definitely want to expand our family and for the villas to be finished and the hotel to be finished and that to happen. I think like for both of us to have the spaciousness to like adjust to a family of having 4 of us, like I feel like all of our ducks are like really in a row and we'll see what happens next year. But yeah, I feel like next year's going to be a good year.
Yeah, me too. Well, I feel like that's a good catch up for the last 6 months. There's all our internal shit that we've been ruminating on individually and with our besties. So there's our bestie chat live for you, all your catch ups, all the goss, all the things that's been happening behind the scenes. And yeah, excited for this next iteration of us. I know every time we come back, we're like things are shifting. And I think that's the evolution of women and business owners. And it doesn't always have to look the same. And I think that is the whole difference of feminine energy and feminine energetics in business is that you do go through cycles and you do go through different eras.
Yeah.
And giving yourself permission to when there's seasons where you're resting, there's seasons where you're building, there's seasons where you're brainstorming.
Yeah. Incubating. So we're still passionate about biz. We're still passionate about empowering women to create income and invest and have their money work for them. And we're definitely going to have some incredible guests on the show to like really talk into this. So we are so pumped for the season ahead. We've got some really great guests lined up. And even next episode is going to be phenomenal with Monica. I know you guys talk way more into this.
Yes, if you love this conversation, you're going to love next episode with Monica Yates to talk all things about motherhood, feminine energetics in business. And I guess this struggle that we've spoken about, I don't know if you want to call it the struggle, but just this identity shift between women who maybe built in the boss babe era and now the soft CEO era and kind of not knowing where you fit in between the two with what's being shown online and what's happening behind the scenes. So I think you'll really enjoy that conversation from a woman who works and supports women in that space too.
Yeah. I'm calling it my soft success era. I'm coining that.
Feels juicy.
Yeah. All right. My loves, it was so good to join you again.
Happy to be back. We'll see you in the next episode.
Hope you loved the studio as well if you're watching. Bye.
I hope you're feeling inspired after that conversation and it's empowered you to make some amazing changes and choices in your life. Don't forget, let us know if you love this episode by giving us a 5-star review. It really helps to know that we're on the right track with serving you guys. and it also really supports our channel as well. If you head over to the link in our bio on Instagram, you'll get access to all of our goodies, including our signature 8-week container, Her Renaissance. And don't forget, head over to the show notes. Make sure you check out any of the links, the books, or the references that we mentioned in this episode. And before we go, we just want to say thank you so much for being here, for being committed to your best self, and for showing up for you today. You are amazing. If you think that there is someone in your life that could really benefit from this episode, while you're feeling super inspired, please hit that share button, or you can share it on your Instagram. Make sure you tag us. We really want to empower others with our message and our purpose. So by you sharing, it just really helps us elevate that mission and message out to the world, and really helps us to inspire more people. So head over to www.babestalkingbusiness.com. Check out all of our other podcast episodes, and we are sending you so much love. See you soon.